Brad Williams, Excel Prime. In this tutorial, we're going to work with the average function and errors. Let's take a look. We have this data set here. Hit F9. I set up this purposely. The numbers are going to change, but the NA and the 0 and the NA are not going to change. And this is how it works. Blanks are ignored when computing the average, but zeros are included, and that can be problematic. If you have a long list of data that you use 0 as a backfill, in other words, you don't like blank cells, so you insert zeros. You compute the average. Well, you can see that it can create all kinds of problems because the zero is included. NA is not included. Letters and errors are not included in your average. So let's take a look here. Over here on the right is pretty much what I just repeated. Average is a very useful tool. You can include it with AVERAGEIF or SUMIF or a whole host of other functions. Let's take a look here. This is just the average function. There's nothing magical here. All we're going to do is take these three numbers and we're going to average them. If I were to change this up a little bit and make these two equal. So let's just show you. I'm just going to show you. Equals this equals this. And you can see the difference here. What the translation of that 0, well, it's computed where the NA is not. So keep that in mind. Also keep in mind errors. If you blank this out, you're going to see that blanks are also excluded. So when you're doing your calculations, keep in mind if you blank something out, it's the equivalent of an error. And the zeros, they can be good or can be bad. Again, I have to monitor when I'm doing my analysis, my finance analysis. I have to be extremely careful of how I look at this information, whether the 0 is appropriate or if a blank is appropriate. And NA, that's just text. NA doesn't mean anything. That's just a filler. And again, it's excluded. Practice on this. Keep in mind these notes. Also throw in your AVERAGEIF. AVERAGEIF works if you wanted to count up a particular row, or if you wanted to count across all of this information instead of averaging. Brad Williams, Excel Prime.